in my lip, now I'm dipping sideways. Probably wake up in a ditch. So crank that music into the night and crack that beer and raise it high. Stack little blind on a midnight ride. Take her back to the country for a real good time. Everything we do it out back. Backyard, half-charred ribs on a rack. Back road running, getting dirty on the track. Backwoods gunning, hitting birdies by the pack. Everywhere we go to the back. Backyard bar, serving jars full of batch. Back under the moon with the tailgate back. In the back of the saloon where the jukebox sat. Got me stepping in manure every time I spit shit. Feel like cash in the photo with the bird getting flipped. Came from the bottom so they label me a catfish. Worldwide, better grab you an atlas. Bomb by lid like Willie, let's smoke. Rack full of ribs and a smoker full of oak. Blackberry bandy out back in the duck blind. Black lab running, got hunting in his bloodline. Came from my back, but I'm back in the lead. Back like a rack full of fat double D's. Back with a barrel on a rack, let me squeeze. Back on the trigger, hit her right between the knees. Back with the toe strap, I pull him real heavy. Ladies getting dirty out back on the Chevy. Dive bar, beauty queen, Bubba, call him Bettis. Pedal to the metal, baby girl, I'm with it. Everything we do it out back. Backyard, half-charred ribs on a rack. Back road running, getting dirty on the track. Backwoods gunning, hitting birdies by the pack. Everywhere we go to the back. Backyard bar, serving jars full of batch. Back under the moon with the tailgate back. In the back of the saloon where the jukebox sat. Talking about a bird pile, hand dog, me and my honey. We could run a game of shoes, lose a little money. I talk a little smack, get the sipping that jack. Bunch of jack, good trucks, all part round.
Everything's better wrapped in bacon. This one gets a little bit of both. Of course, it's cooked in the bacon grease. You can see the seasoning on there. You may not like this seasoning. You may like different kinds. You may like more seasoning than what I put on. You may like less. It's all up to you. Personal preference. These burgers are rather thick, so I put it on pretty good. Cannot wait to dig into them and eat pop. This looks really good. No, I'm not going to eat it all right now. I'm saving some for tomorrow. I'm just getting it all cooked up and ready to go. Good morning. So as promised, I'm going to be doing this video on how to buy Arizona land. Right now, I'm out here at my place, so I thought I'd give a little, just quick walk around. It's so beautiful and peaceful out here. At night, you can hear a pin drop. You can see the stars, the Milky Way, everything. There's very, very little to no light pollution. It's just amazing. I love coming out here. With any luck, I'll be able to live out here full time soon, and then I can make my videos out here as I'd originally planned. So anyway, there's a lot to consider when you're looking to buy land in Arizona. It's fairly easy, but there's still much you want to consider. For starters, you want to spend time looking, finding what you need. For that, I went on Lands of America. Some people will say, use LandWatch, or you could use Zillow. But for me, I use Lands of America. I use that one because it was more user-friendly for mobile apps. LandWatch, it didn't load right. It took longer. It was annoying, and I didn't have patience for it. Which is kind of funny when you take in consideration that I spent probably 6 months looking. But the next thing you got to consider is money. You want to save some money. It doesn't usually require a whole lot down if you want to finance, and most land here in Arizona is owner financed. So you save up some money. I mean, it could be just a couple $1,000s. It just depends on how much land you want to buy. Most places would be 10% down. So if you want to spend $20,000, you save $2,000. With that, you start looking. Look for your land. Look for what you want. Look for the deals and reputable dealers, real estate, investors, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of different ones down here. Next, you want to consider what you're going to do with your land. So you want to look at the counties where you're looking for. I would say if you're wanting to do off-gridding, live in a camper or a tiny house or something like that, avoid certain counties like Yavapai County, Maricopa, Pima. Those I would definitely avoid. I don't know what the rules are in every county, but those counties, they're not going to just let you go and pull a camper on your property and live in it. It's just not going to happen. Or a tent for that matter. Here, I am in Apache County. And Apache County pretty much will let you live in whatever. It's your property, you own it. You can live in your camper, you can live in a tent, you can live in your vehicle. They don't care. They do have some codes and restrictions when it comes to building. I'm not going to get into those, but I also, from my understanding, is they're not really hard about enforcing things out here either. It's a large county, low population. There's a whole lot of empty space out here. So take that in consideration as well, the counties and what you're wanting to do. After that, you just start looking for your properties and what you want. Do you want a large piece of land? Do you want a small piece of land? Do you want a lot of trees? Do you want more open grassland, rolling hills? What other features do you want? For me, I was originally looking for a larger piece of land, and I was wanting a lot of trees, and that was hard to find. That's a pinyon pine tree, by the way. I've got a lot of those on this property, which I'll be able to harvest the ones who get pine cones this year. So anyhow, that's what I was looking for. I looked at some other places, and I was going to buy a bigger plot, but the larger company that I was looking at they didn't have pictures of the exact property. They just had generalized properties. You'd have to make an appointment, come out, and it's easy to do with them. And then they'll take you out and show you different properties that are within the size and price range that you have and as close to what you want. Now, I'd found a plot of land in Navajo County, which I'm not really all that interested in living in Navajo County, but this was a really nice plot of land. It was 40 acres, and it was only like $19,000. So I inquired about it through this other company, and the day that I inquired about it, it went in escrow. So they sent me an email, told me, it went in escrow, but they had this other plot of land that wasn't as big as what I was looking for, but it did have a lot of trees on it, a lot of mature cedar and pinyon pine trees on it. So I thought, well, all right. I'll give it a shot. And they sent me pictures of it, and I started looking at it and looking at the pictures. And I suppose I probably could have come out here and looked at the property before I bought it, but I didn't, because I liked the pictures I seen. And they said it, wasn't on the market yet. It'd be on the market the following week, but because I'd inquired about another property, that they were going to give me first dibs at it. So I said, okay. And once I saw the pictures and I asked questions, I decided to go for it. Now, one question that you definitely need to ask is, what are you allowed to do on your property if you own or finance? Which means you're not buying it outright, you're financing it. And you want to make sure that you can actually use your property. Some places will tell you that you own or finance, you can only use your property to go camping on, and you can't really do much to it. You can't do improvements to it. You can pretty much just camp on it, and that's it, until you pay it off. So you want to be careful of that and pay attention to that. This place said, it's your property, you're buying it, you can do whatever you want to do on it. So I said, great. That sounds like a good deal. Sign me up, I want the property. So they sent me a link through email, and I pulled up the link and I read all the forms and disclaimers and did all my checks and everything like that and signed for it, all e-signature. And then they sent me a link up, and I linked in my banking information. My down payment, I'm not going to tell you what the property costs overall. It wasn't very much. It would have been cheaper if I would have bought 40 acres, because the more you buy, the cheaper it is per acre. But it still wasn't that bad. But I put my down payment, made it right there through the emails and internet, and then linked my bank account. Once a month, around the 15th of the month, they take the payment out of my check or out of my bank. It's as simple as that. I don't have to do anything. It just comes out every month. I've spoken with them many times when I came out to actually find the place. I was having a hard time finding it because Google was not very friendly. But I found it. I went back into town, or not back in town, but I went back to where I had good range for signal and everything. And I started emailing them back and forth. They gave me all the information. They gave me pictures, the exact width of the property in feet and the depth. And every picture that they had, everything, GPS coordinates and everything. So I came back out here and I found it. And then that's when I walked my property for the first time and decided where I was going to put my camper and what I wanted to do. This side of the property where I'm at right now, I've actually not walked over in this part of it yet. I don't know exactly where my borders are completely, but I do know that this is roughly close to the borders of my property. So it was just that simple. It was just that simple. It really wasn't that hard. If you want, to go and see your property first, I definitely encourage that. In this situation, once I saw the pictures, I saw all these big trees out here, I decided that was that. I needed to jump on it before somebody else got it. I didn't know how long it was going to last. They didn't usually have properties up in this county. They have more properties down in Cochise County. Cochise is a little more expensive. So I wanted to jump on this right away. And I got it. It's mine. I've never had any problems with these people since. It's been pretty smooth sailing. I've met a couple of my neighbors. And one thing I definitely will tell you about living out here is if you're a city person that really likes to be up in everybody's business all the time, this is not the place to come. These people out here are very independent and just want to be left alone. And that's what I love about being out here. Nobody comes and bothers me. They leave me alone. But it's great. And owning my land, when I first came out here, as soon as I bought it, I was walking around, I was looking at all these trees, and I was so happy. I was like, oh, that tree right there, that's my tree. That tree over there, that's my tree. Just picking up little rocks, and I find fossils out here, teeth and shells and whatnot. I'd pick them up going, oh, this is mine, my property. It's pretty exciting. Now I just can't wait to hopefully get out here full time and start doing some work on it. Living out here, it's, like I said, the peace and quiet out here is great. Pretty much, you can just run around naked on your property. No one sees you. No one says anything. No one cares. And if someone was to come out here and see me, then that means they're trespassing, because you're not going to see me through all these trees. Anyhow, I'm going to go make some breakfast, and then I'll be back again. All right, well, welcome back. So there you have a little bit of living in Arizona and buying land. It's absolutely beautiful out here, so I couldn't see why you wouldn't want to do it. I just finished breakfast. Had chili with ruffled chips crushed up into it. I know, breakfast champions, right? Well, that's what happens when you're a single guy. You don't have a woman taking care of you and make sure you eat right. You eat shit like that. So it is what it is. Oh, man. For dessert, I'm going to have some Chips Ahoy cookies made with Reese's. So that'll be quite sweet. Yeah, so that works. Anyhow, I'm going to see if I can flip this around and show you the view where I'm sitting at right now. There we go. Just looking down the road. Next ridge going up over there. If you were to get up higher, as if when I'm heading back towards town, you can see the White Mountains off in the distance. It's really pretty. I love the view. Wanted to add on my last couple videos, apparently I had comments turned off. It wasn't intentional. I thought I said it for it was kid friendly. And apparently when you make it kid friendly, that turns the comments off. If you say it's not for kids, then people can comment, which doesn't really make any sense to me. You would think that you wouldn't want people to comment if it wasn't really made for kids, but whatever. That's the way they do it. And so that's the way it is. I've gone and fixed the last couple of videos, and I'm going to probably have to go through them all and check them at least within the last few months and see if they're all comments turned off or not. I guess that would explain why I asked for people's opinions and nobody gives them. Anyhow, I think that's all I got to add on this one. Not sure what the next video is going to be about. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave them in the comment section. If you want to know more details about buying land or who I went through, I'd be happy to give you those details. But until then, y'all take care, and I'll see you on the flip side.